We're called.
Perfect. Yeah.
So it is recording right now.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the camera now is
This is the camera.
okay. So
camera
pointing at the this room. Is it possible to okay? So yeah. So Sue, now can you share? Yeah, maybe I now it's up to you. Do the slides. Yes.
Oh, you want me to share the slides? Okay.
Yes. Now I'm in a position that's a little awkward to. Okay.
Can you see them?
No.
No?
Yes.
Okay, here we come. Okay.
Oh, good.
All
Okay.
right. All right, I think we can get started.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Of course.
All right. So welcome. My name is Ruchi. I'm a professor at the Department of Health Science, College of Health Professions, and so today I'm sharing a little bit about my experience with the digital health tools. Okay, so before I begin, I have to make a disclaimer that I'm no clinician. Okay? I'm not a psychiatrist, and I'm not a clinical psychologist. I'm not essentially. I do a lot of research with mental health, digitization, and AI-enabled healthcare delivery, but I'm not a clinician. So today's presentation about the mental wellness support on the mobile platform is more of more from a perspective of either a fellow peer patient or like just a layman who happen to know a little bit about the digital mental health support. And I have I myself have a little bit of a ADHD symptom. Okay, I'm taking drugs. Okay, I see psychiatrists regularly, and I also have my share of work-related stress and like say election anxiety or climate anxiety. I have maybe a little bit of everything, like just like everyone else. So you can think of today's presentation for me is more of a peer support. Okay, a layperson sharing his experience with the digital mental health support. Okay, so, next slide, please. Or so we can.
It's not. Hold on. There we go.
Okay, so there's a famous book, popular book by Stanford professor Robert Sapolsky called "Why Zebras Do Not Get Ulcer." Okay, so when we talk about stress and anxiety, essentially we can one very aspect of anxiety is come from the sense of uncertainty. Okay, so that is a big difference between stress and anxiety. Is that when we talk about anxiety, it's something that comes with a sense of uncertainty. Okay, so if something is really all that certain, okay, like if you are a zebra, okay, and a lion is chasing you, okay, then it's not anxiety at all. I mean, it's essentially just stress. Okay, it's stress, and we need stress. We all need stress to survive. Okay, we cannot even live without stress. Okay, the zebras turn on the stress response when the lion is chasing them. Okay, to survive. Okay, it's like we turn on our stress response. When to get out of a dangerous situation or to get an urgent task done. Okay, so a healthy dose of stress is helpful. Okay, if we feel the kind of a bit of a stress and that make us feel heart beat faster and walk faster on things before a deadline. I mean, it's probably not something we have to treat ourselves for. Okay, it's very normal. It's helpful. Okay, and one interesting fact about the zebra stress response is that just like we ourselves, humans, can get amazing things done if we are under a little bit under a healthy dosage of stress. Okay, zebras sometimes can do amazing things when they are turning on their stress response. I mean, they are you can see sometimes, not always, Zebras under stress can kick off a lion and severely injure a lion. Okay, and the crocodile get out of the crocodile. I mean, it happens. Okay, so don't fear, and we don't have to fear stress all that much if it is within the normal dosage. However, the difference between humans and zebra are zebras do not imagine up the what if scenarios. What if? Okay, what if scenarios to scare themselves into the chronic stress. Okay, and the a long-term like generalized anxiety disorder. That's something more or less unique to humans. Okay, so it's like the yes, the previous minutes, the zebra is turning on his or her stress response to run for his life. Okay, and the next minute, stress is gone, the lion is gone, and then peacefully, okay, peacefully eating grass. Okay, enjoy life. Okay, enjoy life. Enjoy the moment. Okay, all right. Okay, so that's the reason why zebras do not have the kind of some of the stress-related disease like humans have, like ulcers. Okay, that's if you're interested in this topic, you can check out Dr. Sapolsky's book. Okay, now of course the thinking about futures, making plans for future, it really is our advantage. Okay, over zebras and maybe all the non-human primates. Okay, making plans is good. Of course, we think about, we are forward thinking, we think about future, make plans. That's great. That's our advantage. Of course, no, we don't have to be shy about it. Okay, but worrying about uncertainty is not. Okay, imagine up a fake quarrel with your boss. Okay, imagine up a fake non-existent, remotely possible fight with your partner. Okay? That's probably not productive. Okay, and we spend hours or days thinking about the what ifs. Okay? That's not productive. I mean, that's not even good for, get yourself prepared for the what ifs. Okay, so we live, of course, a lot of us live with some anxiety, and that's normal. And sometimes I'll tell my students, you are in, a college degree program, and you are studying from an exam and from a term project, and if you feel zero stress, zero anxiety, maybe that's the moment you want to reflect on yourself. And as your professor, I need to reflect on myself whether I did anything wrong. If you feel zero stress, okay. Now, if the worry about future is something that plagues you for the moment, okay, and it's difficult to get away from, okay. Before we turn on to the AI chatbot or the human professional help, okay, there are a few things that people, the known tricks, okay. I think Charles, you probably learn from the chat from Arthur Brooks from Harvard. I mean, like there are a list of things that we can do before we turn on seek help. Okay, so first thing is like act. Okay, if you are worrying about something uncertain, and we are thinking about it, what if the worst happens? Okay, what if that guy get elected, and what if the climate accelerates its its change pattern? What if? Okay, and then make a plan to act on it. Okay, so of course I said I have my share of the election anxiety, so I did text banking and phone banking and canvassing in Philadelphia, and yes, okay, so I hope this is helpful. Okay, I hope it's helpful, but even if that does not change, the election direction in the way I want, okay, that to me is also still mental health support, because number one, I think it make me think I'm making an altruistic move. Okay, and I talk to friends. Okay, that's the next clue. Okay, the quickest, the by far the most certain thing to make yourself instantly happier is to make an altruistic move. Make an altruistic move. Okay, it does not have to be like a big donation to a famous charity. Okay, it could be just you give an extra smile to the cashier. Okay, and yes, and 10 times out of every 10 times you smile to that, like that cashier, okay, that you don't know, okay, 8 times, maybe 7 times that cashier will smile back. Okay, and that instantly make you happier. But also be careful, we are living in the random world. Okay, out of 10, you might have once or twice you get non-response, and maybe 1 out of 10, you still get some kind of a negative response from your smile. Okay, that happens. That's part of the world. And understand this is a rule of probability. You pass on next. You won't. It's like you will not always get this. Okay. And the other thing is like just say hi to a friend that you know for a long time, you haven't contacted. I mean, just say hi. You know, that's one of the good things about the age of social media and the cell phone. Okay. So that's a make an altruistic move. That's another thing we can do. Okay. Third is like exercise. Okay. That's one of our proven methods. Okay. And preferably outdoor. Okay? There's something about outdoor from ophthalmologists. There's whole nother topic, and I will not get into. Okay. In terms of mental health, okay, which one is better? Indoor exercise, outdoor exercise. Seems like the consensus is on average, okay, outdoor is better. If you can do it outdoor, okay. The 4 is like, yeah, join a social network. So essentially, this actually comes back to the first point about canvassing, okay. My last weekend's of Philadelphia canvassing experience. It's to me, it feels like making an altruistic move. Yes, okay. Canvassing, walking around, it's exercise, it's outdoor, okay. And thank goodness the weather is good. And number 4 is to join a social network. And you get connected. And we humans are social animals, okay. Most of us are happier, okay. Most of us are happier with a group and with a group that you feel comfortable with, okay. And yes, by joining a social network of people who are canvassing, who are thinking like you, and you feel better, instantly feel better, and actually you feel safer. Okay, what if the election turned out the way you don't want, but you have a strong social network to support you in that scenario? Okay, that could help. Okay, and then of course, very, very often, okay, people say none of the methods works. Okay, that's way over. I get that part. Okay, none of your recommended method works. I get that part. I cannot even get out of my door. Okay, I cannot even make the phone call to the counselor. I cannot get myself to exercise indoor, outdoor, and forget about the social network. I know none of them, okay? That happens, okay? I was in that kind of scenario, and so that's a moment to seek help. And next slide, please. Okay, so here is my own experience of some ADD patients navigating through the US mental health system. Okay, so one of the big motivation that I get into this digital psychiatry topic is because of my own experience with a traditional, like in-person care of the mental health professionals. It's just not all that easy. Okay, they're great. If you can get the human, the mental health care professional help, if you can get them, most of them, they're great. They are helpful. Okay, however, it's not all that easy to get them. Okay. Number one is like there is a kind of a social stigma. There's mental health issue. Okay, so you are depressed, you are weak. You are anxious, so you are maniac. Okay, you are nutty. Okay, so that's the first line of barrier. Okay, social stigma. We don't want to show our weakness to another human being. Okay, that's especially that means that when that still means we have to pay. And sometimes it's a lot of money. Actually, the insurance company will not pay for a lot of the mental health services. Okay, so now assuming there is no stigma barrier, assuming there is no financial barrier, okay, and then there is a scarcity of mental health professionals thing. Okay, this is a worldwide thing, but this is actually not just the US. For those of us in New York, okay, I would say we actually belong to one of the luckiest subpopulation in terms of accessibility of psychiatric service. And still, the wait for the mental health support is way too long. It could take months, if not years, for a child to get, like pediatric psychiatry service. It's very long, okay? And I can speak from my perspective of ADD patient, okay? Wait for ADD patient is almost like a death sentence, okay? Sometimes we rather die than against getting stuck with the wait. Okay, so we oftentimes feel like we might as well just don't go for it, don't seek any help at all, as compared with the waiting. Okay, now suppose we eventually go through that and we eventually find someone who is a good match, it's not all that easy, okay? The mental health professionals, whether or not that person clicks with you, that's very much a luck thing. It's like dating, okay? It's like dating. I mean, like sometimes that person doesn't like you. Sometimes you don't like that person, okay? So a lot of times, like it's not like you don't like each other, but you just don't speak the same language, okay? The long paperwork and long waits, long paperwork in particular is a challenge for people with attention deficiency, okay? And for those patients who are less healthcare literate, who are less familiar with the U.S. healthcare system, they face the issue of the health literacy, and it's not just about like immigrants, okay? For Americans as well, it's a long paperwork. How can you ever get that paperwork done? And some of us, it have that kind of phone anxiety. We have trouble talking with the phone because we have attention issues. We have trouble communicating over the phone. In person, actually, it's better. Okay, and so that assuming we finally saw the psychiatrist get the prescription, because a lot of the prescription in the mental health world is like a controlled substance. That after the visit, we still have to do with dealing with the clinics, insurance payers, verification with the pharmacies, and the national drug shortage, which is not uncommon, is the mental health drugs. Okay, so with all that, while acknowledging this really is the so-called gold standard, we still need them, and we need more of them. Human help. Can AI help with the mental health professional shortage as a given fact? And that shortage is not going to change anytime soon. So can AI help us? Next slide, please. All right. So current evidence, okay, so a lot of us might think that, like a lot of my, like the physician colleagues might think it's a little premature to talk about the AI-assisted chatbots. Okay, that I admit. Okay, comparatively speaking, if we are talking about like the AI chatbot that can really implement a human level talk therapy, yes, it is premature. Okay, I am not going there. Okay. But some background knowledge is like FDA has approved a list of AI tools. Okay, it's not necessarily something we can call as an AI chatbot. Okay, those I would rather say it's mobile health apps. Okay, that has proven benefits in helping people, like say, quit alcohol addiction. Okay. That's pretty significant. Okay, there's a video game for ADHD. Believe it or not, there is a FDA approved video game for ADHD. Okay, and then by prescription only. Okay? If you want to get it, it actually has to come through a pediatrician or a pediatric psychiatrist. Okay, so there's a list of those kind of mobile health apps that has already been approved by FDA for very, very specific mental health diseases, okay, defined disorders, okay. So that's not the focus, okay, that's not focus of today's talk, because those tools, most of them are by prescription only, okay, and you, whether or not you need them, that's for your human psychiatrists or clinicians to decide. Okay, it's not something you can just search for it and download. And we are not talking about any kind of a specific clinically defined disease. Okay, but a lot of times, or most of the time, all we need is more like a virtual high five. Okay, or virtual hug. If you can feel it, we are not in that kind of a. Most of the time, we are probably not in that kind of active, major depressive disorder episode that we cannot even get out of bed. We don't eat. We cannot sleep, or we sleep all the time. If you are in that kind of a situation, you know, it's there. We are that's not anything that mental health apps can help at this moment. Okay, we're not talking about anything like that. What we need is like what I'm focusing on today is something that we can call as a general wellness support. Okay, general wellness support that FDA has designated as breakthrough devices. Okay, something FDA specifically designate as a breakthrough device. Okay, breakthrough device means the evidence is still, like say, early stage, but that designation might help the developers to develop it better and faster because it's so widely needed. And that's what we focus on today. Okay, so you can think of it that this kind of a general wellness support are mainly for preventive purpose. Okay, so essentially, all of us will have our moments of, say, blues. Okay, I mean, we all have our down moments. That's normal. Okay, and I actually cannot think of a scenario whether that's even possible. Like, if the happiness scale is 0 to 10, every single day in our life, happiness scores 10, max out. I actually don't know. Can you even feel happiness if the happiness curve is like 10 every single day and every single hour we're living? Okay, then sometimes like it's very normal to feel a little down. I mean, like sometimes we use that. I mean, like layman term is like blue, right? If that is the case, okay, what those mobile platform general wellness support is doing is like more like for a preventive purpose, kind of lift you up from the stage of sort of down and blue and prevent it from like devolving into the stage of a clinically defined depression. Okay, the most importantly, it's available 24/7. Okay, that's the reason why, despite a lot of controversy, okay, they actually there are bioethicists who are sort of against FDA's move of designating those mobile health tools as like the breakthrough devices. They are against it. They think it's still too early to prove it. But because it is real that we are living in an age with increasing mental health challenges, okay, that I can say for certain, okay? And something very different happened after around 2007, after iPhone was introduced, iPad introduced with those kind of a mobile platform. Young people's, the younger generation's brain actually was shaped differently. Growing up with those mobile platforms, with iPhones, iPads, like smartphones, and the attention span and the tendency of seeking real life social network to support, that has been essentially might have changed, like in a physiological developmental sense. Okay, so we see that. And Sue, you know better than I do. I mean, like maybe you can probably tell over different over the years, okay, maybe over the past 15 years since smartphone was introduced, okay, the increase of demand for students' mental health support really is increasing, and there's no denial. Yes, there's something about the people are more aware of this. There's something about like more likely to be diagnosed nowadays. I mean, yes, these are all true, but after we control for all that, the rise of demand for wellness support is mental wellness support it's very real. And I think that the reason why FDA make that kind of a controversial move of designating those kind of early stage AI-enabled mental health support, okay, for general wellness support, it is partly driven by the fact that population-wise, and maybe not just US, worldwide, okay, there is an urgent need for a better instantly available support. Okay, so essentially you can I have to say, like, Yes, okay. Part of my ADD symptom is I miss appointments. Okay, I miss appointments and I'm late. I show up late in appointments. Okay, I could not find pocket spot. So every time this happens, there's a sense of guilt and shame. And of course, my psychiatrist is not all that happy about it. Okay. Well, I think, well, you are a psychiatrist, you should know better to have empathy for this. Okay, but no, being late is still late. Okay, he is still, grumpy about it. Okay, all right. So that by itself is unpleasant, right? Unpleasant for me. Yeah, I'm not making an excuse, but it could come, that visit come because I have to wait for the service and that service itself bring me some unhappy, unpleasant experience and not, maybe it is my fault, no denial about it, okay? But the nice thing about this kind of AI tool is that I can show up in my pajamas in front of the screen, okay, and be late, okay, late for 2 days, no judgments, okay, no sense of guilt, okay, yeah, and the instant support, okay, and compared to the Europeans, I think that the culture for America is particularly geared toward the fast food, convenience drive-through, okay, and if we want something, I have to get it instantly, okay. It's like so those kind of tools that we are talking about today. Well, essentially we have to focus on one thing, one tool, okay. It's more like a drive-through for the mental burden. Next slide, please. Okay, so advantage. Okay, before next slide, I will talk about a real example. But before getting to this, again, disclaimer: this is not to displace the human psychiatrist or the clinical psychologist. Okay, but the advantage is provide all-day access. Okay, midnight. Okay, when you feel down at midnight, early morning. Okay, yeah, that's when we see. It's there, okay. It's already with us, okay. Having we are having a mental health assistant in our pockets, and then the other thing is even if we already get the human support from the professional healthcare services, okay. And those mental health tools can still help us navigate it. Okay, I'll get to that when we talk through that mental health app of Visa. Okay, it really is partly a navigation tool for you to get to the human mental health counselors, okay, that fits your need, okay. And before and between the scheduled visits, they play the supportive roles, okay. Disadvantage right now is because it's so new, this thing is so new, it's not well regulated, so there are tons of apps out there, okay. For you to so-called freely download, and then a free trial of 7 days, and then you're logged into annual subscription of XYZ, and you don't know, okay, how good is quality. And the other thing is we already have too much screen time every day, and if you use those tools, that you are unlikely to abuse those tools, but still it's some increase of screen time. These are the disadvantage, okay. So given the non-disadvantage, I'll only talk about those FDA designated tools. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so what is the evidence so far? Okay, the experiment so far is yes. Okay, so number one, the series of randomized experiments so far is it might reduce mild or moderate anxiety or depressive symptoms. Okay, you think of them, these chatbots, as your therapist, chatty little sibling who is there at 3 a.m. Okay, so it's not as big as your real life therapist, but they are chatty little siblings who are more instantly helpful. Okay, and this is not for the severe case of depression. If you are in that case, you either go see a doctor, or if it is urgent case, call 911. Okay, if it is like a suicidal thought is near, call 911 for that. Okay, then this is for the mild and moderate anxiety and depressive symptoms. Okay, and that's all. That's one way to look at it. Okay, not for severe case. The other one is so far the evidence shows that the short-term effects, okay, and look promising, and the long-time life advice, I'll say the jury is still out. I mean, no evidence yet. Okay, the AI, the one downside of the AI is they know what you want to hear, okay, and they tell what you want to hear. I have that experience with my analytical AI assistants. Okay, they give me the statistical analysis results that usually a researcher will love to see. Okay, and they will see most of the time a researcher will love to see those significant results. And fortunately, I'm at this point, I can still outsmart the AI on that case. I can tell from my decades of data and analytic experience, these results are too good to be true. Okay, so for up till this year, I can still outsmart my AI assistant and tell, boy, you are lying to me. I mean that you are fabricating those results just to make me happy. I'm not being duped. I'm not sure next year, okay, I can still outsmart those, smart liars. Okay, and then it could actually get even more dangerous. Like just to make you, if it is 100% commercial, if it is 100% unregulated, okay, no responsibility, then the one tendency of those kind of AI tools, so they keep telling you what you love to hear to make you, feel happier for the moment, but maybe on the long term, it's not necessarily a good thing. Okay, so I'll say for the long term results, okay, we still have no evidence. Okay, one exception. Okay, so this is getting let's get a little anecdotal at this point here. Okay, the University of Pennsylvania's late positive psychology guru, Martin Seligman, once mentioned, summarizing his lifetime experience of mental health counseling, that out of all counseling services, okay, relationship and marriage counseling has by far the worst results on average. I'm not saying, he is not saying mental health. He is not saying marriage and relationship counseling is useless. Okay, he himself focused on that for a long time. Okay, he's not saying relationship and mental health, relationship and marriage counseling is useless. Okay, he was saying, as compared with other kind of counseling, on average, the result of relationship counseling is worse. Why? Okay, it's not because a lot of them still result in divorce. Okay, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, actually, one of the better results, one of the most common good results of marriage counseling is the two sides walk through a smooth separation and divorce. Okay, smooth, peaceful. Okay, that's not what he's talking about. The result, the reason why the marriage counseling is so, on average, has so poor outcome is because people lie. People lie to the therapist. Okay, the husband lied and wife lied. Okay, people lie to the therapist and they lie to each other. Okay, I mean, we are not making a moral judgment, lying is good or bad or acceptable. We're not making that. But if the therapist, okay, does not know what is true and what's wrong, what is true and what is false, okay, this therapist is operating under a bunch of false information, then how can the therapist make useful recommendations? And actually, the most common, most consistent benefit of relationship counseling is, for husband and wife, is, stop fighting the same old fight again and again. Okay, that's probably one thing, as Martin Seligman summarized. Okay, stop fighting the same old fight over and over again is probably one of the one and only consistent benefits that he can tell from marriage counseling. And pause and reflect. If that is what you get from going to multiple times, paying a lot of money to a human counselor of relationship and marriage, is it possible that you can get that from AI as well? Okay, because if that's the major benefit, and essentially you can train the AI, okay, to give your clients a reminder. Hey, are you guys keeping fighting the same old fighting again and again? sometimes a reminder from a chatbot, okay, a non-human chatbot, that might sound less judgmental and more objective, and actually might be easier to accept, okay? And the one good thing about the chatbot, sometimes it's like the general purpose AI tool like a ChatGPT or Claude, okay? You don't even need to go to those very specific mental health support chatbots, okay? Even the ChatGPT, for general purpose, it can help you through the possibilities why your partner behave that way. A lot of times we get angry, we cannot get over this because we don't understand why he or she behave like that, okay? Yes, this is when the human counselor can be very helpful because that person have seen so many. But this is also when the AI chatbots, okay, that has centuries of data, centuries of cases stored in its server, and they can also come up with a list of reasons why your spouse behaved that way. And once you go through that list, the chatbot provides you with, okay, you probably get to one of them might actually hit the real reason. And the moment you realize, okay, that's why he behaved like that, the anger is, I wouldn't say 100% healed, okay? It will be reduced quite a bit, okay? Okay, next slide, please. So WASA, okay? So again, I'm not making any endorsements of any particular tool, okay? So I might start to sound like I'm trying to sell a particular product. No, okay? This is the reason why I mentioned this particular chatbot is because this is one of the few FDA designated chatbots that has some early stage efficacy evidence, not conclusive yet, but I have seen the FDA designation. I have seen the related reports about how it could have how it has already helped. I have downloaded and installed and tried myself. Okay, so this is something I can use just as an example. I'm not saying this WISA is by any means better than its other FDA designated competitors. Okay, that's a disclaimer I have to make. Okay, yeah. So the other big one is called the Wallbot. Okay, Wallbot is also something FDA designated as for the general mental wellness support. Okay, but the difference of the Wallbot is like Wallbot is not by prescription. It's not a prescription chatbot, but the Wallbot is something by invitation only, and essentially it's something. So you might want to look for into that. It's an employee organization who buy the Wallbot service as a whole. And after that, every employee affiliated person get an invitation code. Okay, so it's not something that individual can, get download and install and use. Okay, Wallbot is a little bit different in that. Okay, WISA, on the other hand, is something that everybody can download and install, and for a 7-day free trial. And after that, it's like a $76 annual subscription fee. Okay. I'm not making a judgment whether or not the $76 per year is worth it or not. Okay. But I look through, I download, install, and look through the tools it has provided. Okay, it has a cognitive behavioral therapy. Okay, it's a proven method. Okay, it goes all the way back to the Greek and Roman time of Stoics. Okay, the CBT is a very it's a century-old and scientifically proven method. Okay, and then the relatively newer tool called the motivational interview. Okay, which is being used a lot by the clinically licensed, licensed clinical social workers called a motivational interview. Okay, it is something that this tool has, this WISA has. Mindfulness, this is more like my own home turf. Okay, this is something I spent the past 12 years on. It's like it's a mindfulness, and particularly the digital delivery of mindfulness service. Okay, so At this point, there are some preliminary evidence that the using these tools, okay, using the CBT or MI or mindfulness tools available in WISA, okay, so it has some benefit of reducing depressive symptoms, anxiety symptoms, and chronic pain, okay? This might sound a little counterintuitive, but interestingly, as I did my experience with like the mindful walking meditation with a patient with chronic pain, okay, it is true that 80 or 90% of the burden with pain is the way we react to it, okay? Now, if we're talking about the pain, like given, like pain at the level of 10, pain intensity, so equals 10. It's like the pain of giving birth, okay? Like the pain of like the late stage cancer pain. Is that kind of pain that's not subjective, it's objective. It is there, okay? No denial, okay? But most of the burden of the pain actually for less severe pain come from the way we react to the pain. Our muscles are tense, okay? We unnecessarily react to the pain. And that makes the burden of pain so much worse. Okay, pain is a body sensation. Sometimes it could get very bad, but it does not have to be that bad if we don't overreact to it. This is where the CBT and the mindfulness can help out. And this is something this AI chatbot can, guide you through the interactive conversation and its pre-trained with its pre-trained protocols, clinical protocols, okay? So one thing I feel secure, okay? I think one thing I like about this tool is that it provides access to a list of human, okay? I have to repeat, human coach, okay? So if you download this WISA, okay? Set it up, the interface will give you like some options of three tabs on the bottom of the screen, okay, which is coach, self-care, and journal, okay? Journaling is part of the cognitive behavioral therapy. For those of us who have tried it, journaling is another way of, clarify the uncertainty, associated with the anxiety, okay? That's something else, okay? Journaling is something you can help with that app. Like you can start to write with the help of that WISA app, okay? Self-care is the resource, the tab self-care is the core resource toolkit that WISA has for you, okay? And coach, if you tap coach, that guides you to, the connection and matching with a human health, mental health coach, okay? Those are the master level clinical psychologists, okay, who can play the role of mental health coach, okay? So then they are you can think of the human coaches behind this app as the stage of care between the AI help and a psychiatrist's physician level help, okay? The human coaches is the next step up, okay? So, and that make me feel that this feature makes me feel secure when I suggest like my friends or my son to try use it, because it has a feature, okay? And I through my own conversation with this AI tool, okay, with WISA, it does have the sensitivity to detect something, okay? It seems like you might need some help, right? Yes or no, okay? So that is, for that particular incidence, it's oversensitivity, okay? I said something that the robot did not understand. And then the default reaction is, does that mean you need some help? And if I tap yes, it'll take me to the coach page, okay? I'll say, yes, it is oversensitive, but that kind of oversensitivity is something I can prefer to have, okay? I'd rather have this kind of oversensitivity than the undersensitivity, than the early stage, in the very, very early stage of AI chatbots, okay? Like 2 or 3 years ago, which in the world of AI evolution, it sounds like a stone age. Okay, 2 or 3 years ago, it did happen once when the client said, "I want to jump off the cliff," and the AI chatbot said, "It's good that you are doing this good thing for your physical health and mental health." All right. I can sort of guess what is the rationale behind that response. Okay. That response is probably built on the detection of cliff. Okay. I want to jump off the cliff. The AI at that stage, AI think, okay, so maybe this guy is trying to do some rock climbing. Yeah. Okay. Unfortunately not. Okay. That was more like a scandal in that world. And after that, they start to develop this kind of feature of connecting you to your human help. Okay. Now, next slide, please. Okay, so let me spend a little bit of time for the 3 major tools. Okay, 3 major toolkits available. These are all clinically proven methods, and the people have tried to move them to the mobile platform for the past 20 years or 15 years. Okay, so you can more or less rely, trust the efficacy of this kind of approaches. At least the safety, okay, at least they are safe, okay. So the CBT principles, okay, is based upon the notion that like the psychological problems are partly based upon our learned patterns of unhelpful thinking, okay. Let me repeat it, learned patterns of unhelpful thinking, okay. Like when we have some pain, then one of the reaction we have, hey, why me? So unfair. So unfair, okay? The jerk next door did never have this kind of issue. I mean, life is unfair. I mean, I do all these great things and I still have this kind of a big misfortune now. Is this even fair? Why me? Okay. Anger denial. Okay. And then the other unhelpful thinking is this will only get worse. Yeah, it will cascade. It is only. There's just no way this can get better. Okay. The second, okay, I mean, the second type of unhelpful thinking is very, very common, and there's no logic at all. Okay, I mean, unless there are moments, okay, when you have solid proof that things will only get worse for this thing. But most of the time, when we think like that, it is just a catharsis. I mean, it wasn't just like screaming and yelling. You have no logic to prove that things will only get worse. Okay? And the rumination is another pattern. It's like you think of this one negative experience, okay, over and over and over again, even though that's something that already passed. Okay. Yeah, like it happened to me like when I parked that car back in California, when I parked that car near my jogging spot, and someone yelled at me, and I did not understand what that is. Okay. And then I parked that car there and I got a $100 parking ticket. And that ticket was in my mind for the next 3 days nonstop. Okay. So it was like that's totally unhelpful and unproductive. What I lost from that kind of a rumination, okay, over that ticket, okay, it's worth a lot more than the ticket itself. Okay? So it's so the one tool, I mean, like the CBT is designed to guide you away from this kind of unhelpful thinking. The unhelpful thinking will only make things worse, okay? So essentially one of the technique in CBT and maybe mindfulness as well is like unhelpful thinking. If like in the case of me ruminating over that ticket, it's like, just do a simple count. You can say, all right, that goddamn ticket. Okay, this is 43. This is 43rd time I'm thinking about ticket today. Okay, when we stop counting, our brain seems to have a tendency to stop. Okay? There's a reminder to our own brain that you are overthinking about the issue helplessly, in a very unhelpful way. Okay, and as I get older, because like people in my age group and oftentimes has that kind of unhelpful thinking is the brain sometimes has that kind of plays a mean chatter role of man, you are getting old. You forget this, you are getting old. Okay, you are getting old. You're becoming useless. And there's only everything is downhill from here. Okay, that's one of the unhelpful thinking that people in the 40s and 50s will have. Okay. And yes, okay, for mindfulness techniques and CBT training, one of the responses, like, of course, one way to deal with this kind of a rumination or unhelpful thinking is like counting. Yes, okay, like 31, 24. Okay, the moment, trust me, the moment you start counting, you probably will not get to 24. Okay, yeah, the brain will stop. Okay, and the next is like the motivational interviewing. It's like it gently nudges clients to make positive changes without lecturing or nagging. Okay, so we all had an experience when we are in our adolescence. Our mom tell us to go clean up our bedroom. Okay, we know this is the right thing to do, but we just don't like her nagging about it. We don't like like being lectured about it. We just don't want to do it. I mean, the way the fact that you are nagging about it means make me even less likely to do it, even though I know this is the right thing to do. Okay, so motivational interviewing it's kind of an conversational technique to get you to visualize, the thing that you visualize a plan, to sort of guide you to find out the plan that you actually do the thing that you know you need to do, and make me think that is my idea all the way along. Okay, so it is not easy. Okay, I'm not saying, the fact I'm saying AI can do part of this, okay, does not mean I think this easy thing for humans to do. Okay, I admire my social worker colleagues very much for being able to do this. Okay, it's by no means easy to talk people out of their inertia and reluctance to behave with motivational interview. And as I tried this YSA, yes, I can tell it has learned human methods to partly deliver the motivational interviewing method. Okay. Finally, that it's like the mindfulness. I already briefly mentioned it. Okay, it's the mindfulness is a practice of staying in the present moment. Okay, we know it's hard. Okay, our brain loves running reruns of our worst memories or fretting about future disasters that haven't happened yet. That might not even happen. Okay, 95% or 96% of what we think of things we worry about eventually did not happen. Okay, and it's not that 95% of the things that we worry about did not happen because we worried about, okay, because we worry about it. No, it just didn't happen. Okay, our worry does not increase, neither decrease. Okay, the probability of it's happening. Okay, so knowing that, it's interesting what mindful training to do help you enjoy now, appreciate what we have now. Okay, enjoy what you have now. Find out what is new and interesting about the same old office we walk in every day. Okay, every day, part of the mindfulness training, part of the non-meditative mindfulness training is like walking into your office building, the same old office building you always walk into, find 3 new and interesting things about this office building. Okay, every day. There are more than 3 and also at the end of the day, okay, think of 3 things you feel grateful for today. Okay, and that's positive psychology of savoring. That's also mindfulness. Okay, and essentially you can summarize the benefit of mindfulness training. Okay, as like if a person with good mindfulness training are much less likely to lose an hour of their precious life imagining a fake argument with your boss or partner. Okay, we do that all the time. We lose hours or days or weeks imagining fake arguments, fake fights with our boss or our politician or partner. Okay. All right, next slide, please. Okay, so yeah, this is, I think we are getting close to the end time, so I'll just relatively rush through these slides, okay? As I said, there's people who are more concerned with bioethics, biomedical ethics, okay? They they are actually, I mean, they kind of they tend to vote no, okay, when an FDA designate these AI innovations as breakthrough device. But the point is, like, the FDA obviously make this designation based upon the population level need for this kind of device. And at least as far as I can see, because it links to the human health, it does not have that much of a danger of, you know, misleading you away from the human clinical health. Okay. Oh, next slide, please. Okay, so essentially if I have to yeah, okay, so if I to make a disrespectful comment, my monk friends, it's like maybe not having that you know, more of evidence-proved evidence-based mindfulness in your phone is not like having a monk in your pocket. Okay, maybe not that yet. Okay, but it does. I mean, a good mindfulness app. Okay, you know, like so far it's like Headspace or Calm. Okay, yeah, you can search for that. Okay, like Forbes or the Fortune magazine has a list. New York Times has a list of the best mindfulness apps currently available. Some of them actually are free. Okay, so essentially the evidence so far is like the regular use, I have to repeat, regular use. It's not a one-time use. Regular use of standardized mindfulness protocols on mobile platform might bring effects similar to in-person mindfulness therapy. Okay, so once you practice that and enjoy it, it feels like the morning coffee. Okay, it's not like an extra thing you have to do. It's not an extra thing you have to do. It's something you can enjoy in your subway, you know, on your morning commute. Okay, it's like your morning job. Okay, so next slide, please. And so the one feature I would highlight, okay, on the mindfulness apps is a group meditation. Okay, this actually might be one feature that, you know, like the mindfulness apps will help, you know, to make things so much easier than in-person group meditation, because it's not easy to get an in-person group meditation. Okay, but mindfulness has apps on the mobile platform can help, can set it up. You can log into an online check-in or online meditation group. Essentially, it give you the similar sense of meditating in a group. Okay, and so that saves you all the driving time, you know, or you know, the greenhouse gas emission associated with that if you are concerned about climate. Okay, and it makes it so much easier, and it's something you can instantly do for a 5 minutes, 10 minutes basis every morning. That's like a morning coffee. Okay, and the side note, of course, is like, to get the benefit from the mindfulness apps, okay, you need to use them. The same idea. I mean, like, it's not like you have this Headspace subscription on your phone and then instantly the monk in your pocket will help you. But if you can call them, okay, so it's like your gym membership. You use it, you buy it, you use it, and you get the benefit from it. It's very much like a training, exercising your muscles. Okay, and the ideal case is like you exercise, you enjoy the experience of exercising, and you get the short-term instant benefit every day. Then you set up the loop and you keep doing it. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay. I think we have come to the end. Okay, so yes, okay. So even though the evidence at this point is only preliminary, okay, it's only for the short-term benefits. The evidence for these AI tools, okay, on the mobile platform, it's on, yeah, and it's not for the severe case, not for the super urgent case. Okay, still, it might be a good idea to try out some of the mental health wellness supporting tools for general wellness support, not for any specific clinically defined disease. Okay. And these are for you can think of that as for prevention purpose. Okay, so it's when we are not sick, you know, we use kind of like the mindfulness training and meditation practice as like something like a building up helping happiness and resiliency muscles, okay, that make you feel better at the present moment for the very day, and make you fight better if the adverse events do occur. Okay, so okay, again, the last Headspace, I mentioned that product not as an endorsement. Okay, I'm not saying Headspace is necessarily better than its competitors. It's just one example of the more frequently used and the more evidence-based mindfulness apps. Okay, that's it. Thank you. And questions? Any questions?
Stop sharing. So thank you so much, Professor Shi. We really appreciate it. I learned so much. For Wasa, or Wisa, how do you pronounce it?
Yeah, maybe Wysa, but I don't know. You know, I have. Yeah, I use it. I mean, I haven't heard. I haven't like call her name. You know, like and
Okay.
she did
So
not.
does it cost money? Is it free?
This is free. Okay, this is free. Now, if you want to connect to the human coach, then you have to pay. Okay, but
Right.
all the AI-based resources at this point, okay, as I tried so far, they are mostly free. Okay, and I think this now the free 7-day trial and then the 1 year $76 subscription fee. Okay, so I don't know how that compares, but I think that's similar with Headspace. Okay, Headspace annual subscription fee like a $69. Okay,
Yes.
for non-students. So it's similar.
Yes.
My hunch, okay, my gut feeling at this point is maybe, well, if you have to compare these two, Wysa might seems like a good deal because it does include mindfulness as its
Love
toolkit.
that.
While Headspace is very much more focused on mindfulness. Okay, it depends. But again, like I said, the good thing about mindfulness apps and like Headspace is like it provides a group meditation tool. Okay, that at least to me is a fairly important feature. You don't have to talk to someone to make a connection. You essentially check in and meditate with a group. Okay? And you don't have to, if you are not that kind of highly social person, you don't necessarily want to start a conversation, you know, to chat, to get connected. I mean, you just check in, meditate together and feel connected, and that's it. So that's something that a lot of mindfulness apps might be able to offer. But at this point, I see Wysa cannot. Okay.
I'm definitely going to try it out. I use the Calm app,
Yeah.
but they're all costly. For students, for those of you who are students online, I think Headspace is $10 a year if you can show that you're a student.
Yes.
So I just think that these are all great tools to use, and I'm a huge mindfulness fan because it really does help with anxiety and stress release and overall well-being. So
Yes.
I
Yes.
also appreciated your adding humor to your slides because when you heard me laughing out loud, I was reading what you had written on the slides and it was just funny. So thank you for that too.
Yes. Again, I have a reminder. This kind of a humor is partly AI generated. So when I type up this kind of PowerPoint slides, okay. So what I with the help of AI, like a write for me or PowerPoint generator, I did tell them like, hey, use a little bit of Conan O'Brien, Jay Leno, George Carlin, Jon Stewart, Trevor Noah, that type of actually it learns and it makes sometimes it makes obscene, like I have to delete that. Okay, but I myself alone cannot come up with those kind of that many long lists of creative jokes. Okay, so again, that seems at this point the AI generated jokes pretty brilliant, but they still don't know what the limit is. Okay, so we still need the human scrutiny, make us more productive. Okay.
So this session has been recorded, and when I get the recording, Usually it takes a few hours. Then I will send it to you, and then we can send it to those of you who attended this session.
Okay. Yeah, so Yan and Charles and Stephanie, you guys are you agree? Do we have your consent to that we share this because your icon are of it's your name is kind of there. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, do we get your consent if we share this video?
I have no problem.
Okay, great. Yeah. I might try. Yeah, I mean, because as a public service, we might try to upload to YouTube as well.
And I will check with Rosemary, and there was another person who was on earlier, and I'll find out who that was, and I'll get their consent as well.
Okay. All right.
So thank you all so
Thank you.
much.
Questions, other Stephanie and Charles and Yan, or if you have other questions? No.
Any
All
other
right.
questions?
Thank you, Emily. By the way, today is my birthday. Okay.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah,
so
7 times 7.
I love it. Well, what a
Okay.
great way to spend your
Have a great
birthday
day.
helping others. So thank you, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day.
Yeah. Happy
Thank
Halloween.
you.
Bye, everybody.
Enjoy Halloween week. See you later. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.